Hello, Aries. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Aries is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. These readings are totally free. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Aries, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And it's the magician. Somehow I knew it would be the magician. You are a highly intelligent person. You've got the ability to really absorb information and turn it into kind of actionable like knowledge. You know, it's practical wisdom, but I think that you understand like complex concepts, you know, like theoretical type of stuff, but you're able to take all of that theory and sort of put it into practice. Yeah. And that's sort of what the magician is all about, right? The magician is the wisdom, right? This is also your ability to build rapport with people. I think that you have a way of engaging other people. Okay. Maybe it's with your charm, your enthusiasm, your eloquence, right? Where your wisdom comes through, but not in like a kind of like a know-it-all kind of way. Like you're very charming, right? Probably you know more than one language, and probably you've traveled quite a bit throughout the world, okay? Or at least you fancy yourself a traveler, okay? It may be that you have the travel bug right now, but I feel like traveling is a big part of your life in some way, okay? This is somebody who is understanding how they need to do the inner work so that they can more accurately or more effortlessly perform the outer work, you know. So the magician is the one who has undergone the work of the star card, you know, clearing out blockages so that it can be that clear channel, that pure conduit of the divine message. Something is trying to get out to the world through you, okay? There is some song inside of you that needs to be sung, some book that needs to be written, some business that needs to be built, some mountain that needs to be climbed, okay? And it's something inside of you, and I think that over our lifetime, we start to come closer and closer to what that really is. I don't know that we ever get it exactly. There is no perfect magician in practice, right? And so I feel like right now you're getting this sort of surge of energy that says there's something that needs to be created in me, through me, and I need to start doing that. I need to, maybe you're in the middle of it already, right? I need to focus on that. I need to refine that. I need to give it the love and devotion that it deserves. And over time, this conception may change, right? It's not so much about what you're doing, but about how and why you're doing it. And you're doing it like a magician. Yeah. Let's put this card into a little bit of context and let's see what's going on. You could be in the middle of some kind of business deals right now. Yeah, there's the Six of Pentacles. I do feel like there is something going on that is going to be rewarding you quite nicely. We have the Tower underneath. We have the, oh yes, your Emperor, the Aries power card. That is your superpower card. That's the card that is associated with the sign of Aries. Okay, so we call that your power card. And when this card makes an appearance in a reading, it means that this reading is kind of extra special for you. Okay, it means that there is a high kind of spiritual force in your life right now. Yeah, it feels like this is a proximity to your true self. And I feel that, well, of course, the Tower underneath is that song that is like, that wants to sing, that wants to be sung, the book that wants to be written, the business that wants to be built, and it's trying to come out of you, right? There's something inside of you that is stirring big time. And there we have a Prince of Pentacles. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. And the Devil energy moving you forward, driving you forward with this kind of ambition. This is really, really nice. This is really, really nice. If you've been feeling some anxiety lately, I know why. Okay. Over here, we got, a double shot. We got the Hermit and the Death card. Interesting. We've got the Three of Wands, the Ace of Swords, and, yes, the Empress. Because the Empress is, of course, what you're trying to create. That is the absolute beauty of the reality that you're making in your life. The Empress is all of our goals. That's what we all want, right? A good life. We all want to be happy, to be loved, to be connected, to be, in a little bit of a better quality of life than we are now. Okay, kind of using that as a ubiquitous goal for everybody. And, we want our lives to get better, not worse, right? Whatever that means to you specifically. We're all unique. Okay, we're all individual, and our conception of the good life, the best life, the big rock candy mountain, the paradise, the Garden of Eden, the utopia almost. This is that good life for each of us, and mine's different than yours. Probably some overlap, right? But it's unique to us, what we consider to be our best life, right? And this is the outcome here. I feel like this is a big blessing in what you're doing. Whatever you're working on is leading you toward this, okay? And I feel like something's happening now. I feel like there's some situation now that you might feel is not so good, because this is a disruptive I kind of feel like your world is shifting inside, It's kind of like when you get a sudden stomach ache and it comes on like that, and it's like, uh-oh, It kind of feels like that inside, and I think that it is probably indicating that something really, really big is about to happen in your life. And I think it's the Six of Pentacles. I think whatever you've been working on, whatever you've been building, is about to seriously pay off now. All right, let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. And we can set it right here with Bubo, the mechanical owl, right there on top. And we're not going to look at that card until the very end. It will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any point during this message you feel like you might know what that card could be, put your prediction in the comments. Okay, let's do it together. Let's use our intuition. Now, as we look around the room, we see major. This is a lot of majors. Major, 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 major. This is like a rocket ship of major arcana energy. You're building something now that it's like Spirit's doing it. It's like you're just kind of along for the ride. This is like a rocket ship. This is a major breakthrough pending, okay? And this, that's good. This is going to be the success of whatever deal you're in the middle of right now. And I think the hidden blessing here is that it's leading you to this, it's leading you to your destiny. It's leading you to a life that is so much different than what you know now, and so much better. Everything that you could wish for is being built for you, okay? So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 major arcana, 7 out of 11. That's pretty good. Then you got some fire. You don't have any water. I think the water is all coming in here with the Empress. You have the air. And you have a couple of earth cards, but it's mostly these major arcana energies. Isn't that nuts? That's so crazy. Something really amazing is happening, and I feel like it's going to be a really big deal for you. So we'll start with the Magician and the Six of Pentacles. The Magician is the one that's trying to cause change and conformity with will. In other words, there's something that you want to happen, and you're making it happen. Seems pretty simple, right? And I think that it is a successful transaction of some kind. This is a card of material success. It kind of feels like you're bringing something to the table that is, contributing to the success of a group of people, maybe. Okay? I feel like there is this transactional kind of thing. I almost feel like you're working with somebody and it's going to produce something really nice, right? I don't know exactly what you're doing. It feels like it's some kind of business or some kind of a work thing or something about money, right? But this is a successful transaction, Okay, it's a 6 of Pentacles. It's not a 10. It's not like the finish line. It's not the end of the road. It's not your big rock candy mountain. See that? This is coming over here. This is, I think, a maybe even like a surprise kind of bonus coming into your life. You know what I mean? I feel like you're doing this work. You didn't expect it to be quite like this. Okay, this seems like it is something that is feels like it's something that is above and beyond what you were expecting it to be. Okay, maybe we thought, well, we'd get like maybe a 4 of Pentacles. We just kind of stabilize things. It would work out well. I think something in your life is working out much better than you thought it was. Okay, and something that you were very worried about because, of course, we have our tower underneath, right? But generally speaking, yes, this is the magician influencing the physical world and getting what it intends to get, producing what it intends to produce. And, you know, this magician energy is in everything that we do. Everything is magic. So we might as well be good at it, right? Because everything we do is magic. Just raising your hand above your head is an act of magic. The intention comes first, and then look, there it did it again. You know, the thing is, this is something more complex than simple mechanical movements, right? I think that you're organizing something maybe, or you brought people together. There was some kind of a collaboration. Okay, there was something about a phone call coming in that you've been waiting for. Yeah, I don't know if it's like this is a group call or this is like a like a Zoom meeting with your company or something where you kind of get singled out for an award or some praise or maybe a bonus or something like this is happening. Okay. Do you wear a name tag? Somebody's got a name tag on or something like this, or I don't. Maybe you're at a convention or something like that, but there's name tags. Yeah. Anyway, the tower underneath kind of shows that we're sort of nervous, like maybe we didn't know how this would go. That we feel those kind of the pterodactyls right in our stomach. I love that show anyway, if you get the reference. But this is really feeling like things may not go our way. I think for a while there you were kind of worried about how things would go down. This card always represents a major change in your life, a major turning point, okay? And it usually doesn't feel too good in the moment. It's a tower. It's a big thing. It's a big event that usually is like disrupting our lives. It's something that shakes us to the core. This is your core, right? Shaking. And it could be that we expected this to go quite poorly, but it's going actually very, very well. It could be something that you sort of stepped up to the plate and nervous, sweating, drenched in sweat, right? And shaking and just, quivering in our boots, but you're hitting a home run. Okay? Because this is where something in you shifts. Something in you is realigning. There's some sort of blockages that are being removed, right? I always look at this as a liberation of force, not a destruction of something that's been built. Well, sometimes a destruction of something that's been built, but really what it does is it liberates force. So I think that there may have been some blockages in you that are falling away, and those structures are being destroyed, right? In order to liberate your confidence, liberate your energy. Because I see the Emperor energy in the past here. So I kind of wonder if, you haven't been yourself lately. You haven't been really all that confident about things. Maybe when we began this particular work, we were very confident. Something is maybe diminished your confidence a little bit, but it's coming back. It's coming back in full force. When we look at the horizontal path here, the Emperor, employing the wisdom of the magician, is getting up that mountain. This is a very strong, forward-moving type of energy, okay? And it's all being kind of instructed by the ego here is the fortified ego. It's the facilitator, okay? This is the one that's sort of directing your body and your mind, and your heart is around here somewhere. I feel like the Empress really has all that water energy. There's a sense of purpose here, but there's no water energy, I think, because we're not really enjoying it yet. We're working hard. We're in the phase where it's just like, I don't have time to think about the ice cream or the hot bath. I'm in the middle of it, and I've got to focus, and I've got to be You know, I've got to be on, I've got to perform, I've got to work hard and stuff. So I feel like the water energy is coming with that Empress energy, bringing in all the joy and all the love, all the ice cream and bubble bath, you know. But the Emperor moving forward, I think, is employing the right sort of communication that's going to get things moving up the hill, and this is at the top of the hill for you. Okay? And I feel like there is a lot of benefits happening along the way. A lot of good things are happening along the way. Because the Six of Pentacles is really, to me, this kind of feels like a plateau in a way. And maybe you're looking at it that way too. Maybe we have this very critical moment. You perform very, very well, and you succeed. And it's a rest after. It's kind of like, okay, we can sit here. We can stop climbing for a minute. We can breathe, right? But then we have the Devil energy in the future position that's saying, let's keep climbing. We're not there yet. This is a resting place. This is like we're just sitting down to have lunch in the shade for 30 minutes. It's time to get going again, okay? So I feel that this is a good moment to sort of recognize the win, recognize this success, and then we're going to keep building, okay? Because you do have the builder up here. And I think it's important that we have a little bit of water energy, maybe in the mystery card, because this, you should be enjoying this. You should let yourself feel really good about this, because this is something that you didn't think was going to happen. To me, it feels like a hidden blessing here. That we thought this was going to just be all bad, nerves and, and stress and anxiety, but it's good. It's working out well. Maybe this was you kind of, coming into a new group of people and not knowing how it's really going to go down, kind of thinking like, okay, this is going to be like me against them, or there's going to be some kind of, I don't know, maybe you're starting a new job, maybe you got brought into a different department, and you kind of thought it was kind of like a punishment, but really it's a blessing. Really, it was like a reward, right? And once, because this to me feels like a round table, feels like everybody's bringing something to the table. It's like a potluck. Maybe it's a family thing. I don't know. Could be. Feels more like work, though, right? Sometimes families can be work. So this could be any situation in your life, but I do feel that there is a meeting of people, and it's your sort of anxiety about it, but it's going to be really, really great. And it feels like there's some sort of transaction or negotiation. Maybe you're pitching an idea. Maybe you're presenting something. It could be that this is the stage and you are the magician performing, right? And it might feel like that. Maybe this is you being called to give your presentation at school or at work or something, right? Maybe it literally is you getting on stage and giving a speech or playing a tune or singing a song or giving a lecture, any of these things. Okay? But because the magician is stepping up. The magician is letting this energy, we're letting all of our issues fall away from us for this moment, and we're just letting that divine energy flow through us, and you're doing what you need to do. It's almost like you're not even there. It's almost like you're outside your body, right? Because it feels like something is sort of taken over you and is doing this, And I think for a moment the ego sort of collapses and just lets the magician perform and do the thing and talk to the people, or whether it's, I don't know, maybe you have some kind of social anxiety, that could be part of this. But what you're doing is you're building a tremendous future here. You're building your Empress life. Okay? And I think this is one very big step for you on that path, and it's going to be a lot better than you expected. Okay? It's going to be amazing. It really is. The Devil card in the future is kind of saying, like, after this moment, you could kind of go back to being just the lone mountain goat. I feel like you're kind of a solo climber. And you may have these periods where you have to get, I don't know, maybe you work from home, but every once in a while there's this big company meeting you have to go to, or a big event or some convention. And then you can kind of go back to just working from home again, doing things on your own, which is, I feel like the way you prefer it. I feel like you're usually a pretty social person, but right now I don't feel that you are. I feel that's sort of changed in you. I feel like maybe when you were younger, you were very outgoing, very social. I feel like now you're kind of just like, I like to kind of do things myself, and I like to do things my way, and But this is tremendous ambition. All right, this is the motivating force, and what I think's going on too is that this win, this plateau, this resting place, this sort of victory, this success, is motivating you to keep climbing higher. It's letting you really seriously recognize that you can do this. So it's pushing you up the hill faster, right? This kind of thing is really going to make the devil, a card, the goat energy, want to run up the hill, okay? You're kind of in this steady as she goes kind of energy, though, which I think is good because it's not a sprint, right? It may feel like we're sprinting to each of these resting places, but over the long term, I think it's more of a marathon than a sprint, okay? So the Prince of Pentacles is the builder. This is the one that shows up every day, shows up on time, and steps up to the plate and does the work. It's a very consistent person. Maybe this is how we're looking at ourselves. We may not feel like we step up to the plate and hit a home run every time, but we're consistently putting the bat on the ball. We're consistently getting the base hit. We are a hard worker. We're not the one that, every once in a while when the opportunity's right, can steal all the bases, right? Or can hit the home run, every time at the plate, but is a consistent, hard-working, valuable member of the team. Okay, not the superstar, which the superstar is kind of the novelty, right? The superstar may be just someone that they do one thing. They can hit a home run, maybe if the conditions are pretty good, they're probably going to hit a home run, but they're not so good at everything else. They're not consistent in that way that you are. In other words, you're consistently getting on base. You're consistently making the plays out in the field and getting out, and it's, you're kind of a more valuable player in that way. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like that's how you see yourself, but I think right now, you're kind of the superstar too. You're kind of being singled out. You're doing something that is kind of superstar energy, And I think you need to accept that and feel it and love it and enjoy it. Yeah. Let's talk about the Path of the Serpent, because we see some interesting things here with these two major arcana cards. Now, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. The readings are totally free. Okay. We start with the Hermit and the Death card over here on this path. Both of these cards are sort of forward-moving. The Death card sometimes is our trajectory in life. It's our life path. From cradle to the grave, this is the arc of our life, right? The Hermit is the one that is kind of doing things their own way, doing things a little bit differently. So there's almost a little bit of conflict between these two, but I think they can work together, okay? The Hermit is the one that kind of knows who they are and just wants to be left alone to follow its path, okay? And I think when these two come into alignment, that there's a certain grounding of energy, and there is a certain realization of what is important to us and what is not. I feel like even though you are becoming kind of the superstar, you have a humility about you and a humbleness, okay? Because you're just trying to work in tandem with the changes of life, and we're sort of like our life arc is happening very honorably. We're like aging gracefully. You know what I mean? So I feel that these two are sort of working together. Now, the Death card is the nature of nature. It is the fundamental force of the universe. It is the card of change, slow and steady over the course of time. I feel like you're somebody that likes slow and steady over the course of time. You like maybe routine. You might be a person that's sort of, again, I think it's different than when you were younger. But as we get older, and I don't know, it doesn't matter how old you are, but as we age, I think we tend to get, we find the way of life that suits us. We find what we like, and we ease into it, and we don't really like a lot of abrupt changes. It's like these two together, right? I just want to sit here. I want to do my work consistently. I want to put the bat on the ball. I want to get on base. I want to do the fielding work. I don't want to be singled out as the home run master. I just want to do my thing and do it well and do it consistently and kind of do it quietly. That's what these two want to do. The Tower moment, of course, is the opposite. It is an exclamation point. It is something. It is a major event. doesn't really jive right with these two. And so I feel like something is happening in you right now where it's just like, you don't like that. You don't really, the Hermit and the Death card don't like the Tower, because the Tower is abrupt change. It's an exclamation point. Or what these kind of like are just like the dot, 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 dot. And then exclamation point, and then dot, 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 dot. Okay? It's kind of the EKG. It's just a line and then a blip, line and then a blip. And these are those pulses of life that we will remember, where our awareness, we're fully awake. Like when you have to step out on stage right now, or you're getting singled out for this award or whatever's going on, like this is a moment where all your senses are activated to the point where it might feel overwhelming. Okay? And that may be why we don't have the water energy, because you're just trying not to feel it right now because it's intense. And I feel like this is a moment that you're going to remember. These are those wide awake moments of life where it's imprinted on our souls big time. We'll never forget this moment. Nor should you, because this is very significant. You can go right back to so sort of, go in the way of the goat. You're like the silent goat. I feel like you are kind of becoming literally like the GOAT, the greatest of all time, right? But you're doing it in a way that's very kind of, you're like a sleeper. It's like you're quiet, humble. But I feel like you are directing your life slowly and surely into the direction that you want it to go. Don't call me Shirley. This is more long-term investment than short-term wins, long-term investment. Okay? So I feel like you're investing in your entire life arc, and you like the way your life is going, and you sort of want to keep it quiet, and I dig that. I really do. You probably do have a lot of investments, long-term kind of things going on for you. And I think that what you're doing is you're in it for the long haul, right? You're investing in your long-term abundance and happiness in life. The short-term stuff is necessary at times, but it's the long-term that matters most to you, okay? And, I think that obviously change is the only constant, right? And so the Hermit is realizing that it has to be very intentional. It has to know itself, right? Know thyself is the maxim here. And I feel like you do. And I feel like you're not getting so caught up in the external extravagances that you're focused on, okay, well, that was a big win. That was great. What do we need to keep doing? Because that ain't going to last forever, right? This is what we know about the 6 is it may be a period of harmony and beauty and joy and a very balanced thing, but it's going to fall out of phase eventually. Nothing stays the same. So we're always sort of, we're going to always keep going. You have a 3 of Wands in your environment. Okay, this is the Sun in Aries in your relationships. I feel like the people that know you well see you as a very vibrant person and a person of ethics, a person of virtue, a person who, again, says they're going to do something and they do it. Like you don't write checks that your butt can't cash. You know what I mean? And I think this is very important for you. I think that you demand also the people that you bring into your inner circle that they have a quality about them, right? Especially with the Devil and the Hermit and the Death card, and you're really in this sort of quality over quantity mode in your life. Okay, I think you find joy in simplicity right now. Not always, but happiness for you isn't found in the excess. You like the wins. You like being in the winner's circle. You like succeeding at things. But you sort of enjoy things in your own way, and maybe you enjoy different things. You enjoy perhaps more natural things, the simplicity of nature, right? Just the beauty of like a park, right, with the birds and a little stream and, that sort of thing. I feel like your friends and in your relationships, people know you as somebody who is reliable. And I think that really is a big quality for you. And I think that's great. I think that nobody will really call your ethics or your virtue into question. Yeah. I think what's going on is that you're getting this win, but you're the person that's going to thank everybody else and say, you know what, it was them. I didn't do it, it was them. They did it. Because that's your honor in a way. So I feel like there's a tremendous gratitude and appreciation in you. You don't need the credit for yourself. Your ego isn't fragile. You have a fortified ego. I don't need all the applause. I don't need the big awards. I don't need everybody to know that I'm the best, right? I'm just, these people did it. They're the ones, not me. I feel like that's your vibe. Yeah. Now you've got an Ace of Swords in this position. This is kind of a card that is, well, it's a card of clarity. It's a card of receiving a download and tapping into the intuition. And it makes me wonder if in this moment you're not feeling the clarity so much. Okay? And well, I feel like this is the obstacle. This is what we need right now. We need to sort of let all of our thoughts go. That's what you're doing. I think this is exactly what you need right now, even though it's difficult to do, right? It's the obstacle. It's difficult to do it because when you're in this tower event, it's likely that your mind, the swords cards, is going to go a little haywire. It's going to start kind of going crazy and thinking a lot of thoughts about a lot of things, having doubts, having random thoughts that have nothing to do with the actual event that's going on in your life. So it's important that we learn how to still our mind and have this stillness and silence. Okay, because that's how you're going to allow this sort of performance or presentation or whatever this is, right? That's how you're going to continue to manifest these successful moments. That is by having the clarity of mind. So I want to point that out too. The only sword card you have is the Ace of Swords. Okay? The only thing you have is your striving to just kind of not strive, to not think about it too much, to be just calm internally. Even though you got this whole tower thing going on, you're trying to remain very level-headed. You're trying to stay connected with spirit and not overthink it. Okay? This is a very simple sword card. We don't have a bunch of, we don't have a 3, a 5, a 7, a 9, 10 of swords. We don't have any of that. We have simplicity, clarity, and stillness, right, in the mind. And I think that's really allowing you to receive the downloads from your true self. That is giving you the ability to act in a way that is productive and conducive to the success that you want. And we're achieving our Empress life. I think that this is sort of your long-term goal. I think that it is growing in your life right now. The Empress it's not necessarily a place that we arrive at. It's not something that we don't have it, we have it now. It's something that we're always planting the seeds for it, and we're always nurturing those seeds and letting it grow. It's kind of like your garden in your yard. It's not just like nothing, suddenly a big bountiful garden. No, it's slow and steady over time that creates this, and you have to continue to love it and cherish it and work on it and tend that garden and cultivate that abundance, and it will continue to grow, right? I feel like every 6 of Pentacles is one more sort of crop that has sprouted up. We've planted the seeds, and now we've done our magic, and the thing's growing. Great. Now we got to do that a bunch of times, and here we have our garden. If we think of it as the Big Rock Candy Mountain, that sort of that mythic, town that is our sort of our ideal life. It's not just we're traveling through the desert and suddenly we arrive at Big Rock Candy Mountain. It's like literally we're building it every day of our lives, and we're very intently building that with focus, with will, and with devotion, and with virtue. And so it's sort of like, one brick at a time, one barn at a time. We're going to have a little post office, off a grocery store, We're building it up every day of our lives. And so this is already present in your life, just maybe in a smaller form. We're going to keep growing. We're going to keep expanding. We're going to keep building it. You've already planted a lot of seeds, and I think a lot of the crops have been sprouting. Even more will sprout, and this is going to continue to get better and better and better and better. Yeah. Let's look at the mystery card. 6 of Cups, right? It's got to be. because I want you to feel the joy, and I want you to not just be in this, because you got a lot of fire and earth here, right? I mean, we didn't even talk about that. You got fire, fire, earth, earth, earth here, fire here. Even this is some earth energy. The Hermit, of course, is an earth card, a Virgo energy. I feel like you're somebody who, you don't find it easy to just sort of like smile and laugh and enjoy it and just be lazy. You know, I feel like, at least right now, I feel like you're in this very focused, working, and whatever win you get, you're saying, okay, you know, thank you, and you're back to work. I feel like this water energy would be a little bit something different for you, kind of saying, hey, take some time to just love it and just feel good about it. You know, maybe take some time to laugh and to have fun and to smile and to feel the joy and then get back to work, right? Because I feel like right now things are very intense. You're very focused, and I feel like you're not enjoying it enough. Yeah? Let's check out the mystery card. The King of Cups. Okay, it's a fixed water energy, so I'm right. This is kind of saying like, look, you're riding the waves of the emotion, but you're not actually feeling them. You're not getting wet. See, you're not getting wet. So the fixed water energy is kind of like, it's saying like, I'm not allowing any movement in my own emotions right now. That I'm just trying to be too stoic. And we have this misconception about stoicism that it means I don't feel anything, right? We think a stoic is just somebody who's always serious, right? Never laughs and is just doing the work, and it's, you know, very dry kind of energy. That's a misconception. Because, yeah, we don't want to let our nerves get to us. We don't want to let our fear get to us. We don't want to have the negative emotions ruling our lives and making decisions for us. But we want to feel joy. We want to feel laughter. We want to have a sense of humor, and we want to feel good, and we want to have the ice cream and the hot bath, and we want to just notice how things feel. Okay? So I feel like we kind of got to dip our toe in the water a little bit here and open up and just to maybe appreciate the blessings that we have, appreciate the abundance that's around us, appreciate the crops that have grown or the buildings that we have started to build up in our Big Rock Candy Mountain, and you know, and feel those feelings instead of being sort of fixed in the emotion. And I think the fixed water is kind of that we're trying to keep the emotions at bay because maybe right now we feel like they're not really helping us because we've got all this work to do, right? The work is going to lose its meaning if we don't start to feel that work again, okay? And I don't feel like you're always like this. I feel like right now things have just gotten a little bit maybe dry and a little bit too just focused, that we're not taking the time to just enjoy it and just to feel it, okay? So that, I think, is a big thing for you, especially with what's going on in your life right now with the Six of Pentacles. That is going to be tremendous. Let yourself enjoy that. Let yourself feel that. Okay? It's okay to smile and feel good about it. And then you get back to work. You get back to your hermit energy and you keep going up the hill. Yeah. Anyway, we're going to do an extended reading. This one went kind of long. There's a link in the corner. There's a link down below. We're going to do an I Ching hexagram. We're going to do some oracle cards. New readings for Aries Mondays and Fridays. Be sure to watch both readings. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. These readings are totally free. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.